Join me as we take a trip down the path of the wandering artist. In this episode, I will explain the connections between Elden Ring's paintings, how they link to one another in a sequential order, then come back around to the beginning. We're going to start fittingly at the artist's shack in Limgrave. Here we find the painting Homing Instinct. It depicts the Church of Pilgrimage on the Weeping Peninsula. We find the spirit of the artist just a short distance from the back entrance of the stranded graveyard. This is where our Tarnished begins their own journey, resurrecting for the first time after plunging from the Church of Anticipation and washing ashore in the stranded graveyard cave. Nearby, an alabaster lord enjoys a campfire on the beach. The spirit gives us a giant incantation scarab to wear on our head. This is the only scarab with a lore description. As the scarab approaches death, it abandons its rolled treasure and stretches its wings wide for the long journey to its home nest. As if stepping into the painting, we find the artist's next location at the Church of Pilgrimage. The relevant painting, Prophecy, is found in Stormveil Castle. Stormveil itself and the Church of Anticipation are portrayed in the painting. It is the Church of Anticipation that the prophecy is referring to. It is the coming of the Tarnished being foretold. At the Church of Pilgrimage, the spirit rewards you with the Warhawk ashes. Spirit of a Stormveil Warhawk, the talons of which have been sliced off so that razor-fine swords could be grafted in their place. With its lord vanquished and its wings wounded, the hawk perished as it solemnly gazed at its former home. The storm was its cradle. I'm a huge Lord Godfrey fan, and seeing the poor Warhawks mutilated like this did not sit well with me. However, the description explains that the blades were grafted to the Warhawk's severed talons. Godric the Grafted did this to Stormveil's Stormhawks when he took the castle. He really does have an ugly heart. Like the homing instinct of the scarab, the wounded hawk of the ashes wanted to return home, but his wings were wounded. This brings us to the next painting, Flightless Bird. The Prophecy and Flightless Bird paintings are connected by the path of the wandering artist. The paintings and their titles are linked. The Flightless Bird painting is found in the Fortified Manor. It depicts the outer rampart of Leyndell and the Highway Lookout Tower. The Highway Lookout Tower is where you find the Great Bow. The artist is found at the top of Dominula Village by the Windmill Heights site of Grace. Here the artist rewards you with the Fire's Deadly Sin incantation. Incantation originating from a deeply ominous prophecy. The prophet despaired looking up at the Erd Tree, for soon the kindling would burst into flame, bringing ruin. The burning of the Erd Tree is the first cardinal sin. That is not the domain of mere men. Again, the prophecy spoken of is the coming of the Tarnished, smoldering with thy meager flame. The flame Margit claims must be extinguished. Let it be by Margit the Fell. And the prophecy speaks of Melina, the kindling maiden, who is the one who walks alongside flame. It's commonly misunderstood that Melina is the flame and the Tarnished walks alongside her. But this is disproven by the very real fact that kindling is not flame. It needs flame to burn. The flame of ruin roars to life only after Melina lays her hand on the Tarnished. It is then that Melina draws the flame of ruin to herself, and like kindling, the flame takes purchase in the kindling maiden. It is only then when Melina is able to catch flame, and then she uses the flame of ruin to burn the Erd Tree. She thanks the Tarnished for guiding her to her destiny, as the one who walks alongside flame, to one day meet the road of destined death. This is where Melina's heroic story ends, and she tells the Tarnished goodbye. The Tarnished wakes up in Farum Azula, on the road to destined death. Together, Melina and the Tarnished committed the cardinal sin. The kindling maiden needed flame to burn the Erd Tree, and the Tarnished needed a road to destined death. To Farum Azula, where Malekith hides like a dog. We got a little off track there. Let us return to the path of the wandering artist. At this point, a literal path from Windmill Heights to the Sainted Hero's grave. The painting Champion Song depicts the Sainted Hero's grave and Mount Gelmir in the distance. This painting is found in the Shaded Castle. The spirit is at the top of the hill where you battle Lansax. Nearby is the monument dedicated to Godwyn for defeating Lansax's brother, Fortisax. The spirit rewards you with the harp bow. Bow fashioned from a minstrel's harp, Sonorous tones still resound when firing arrows. Troubadours sing tales of champions, both in honorable service of the Erd Tree and the one who spurns honor for blasphemy. This part of the path is loaded with references of champions and heroes. Where you find the painting, The Shaded Castle, it is heavily associated with Millennia the Severed. Near the location of the artist's spirit, you find the sword monument dedicated to Godwin the Golden, and further down the tomb of the ancient dragon knight Kristoff. The heartbow mentions the blasphemous, hinting at Praetor Rykard and the beast champion Bernal. And lastly, as a reference to guide us to the next painting, Redmane, which portrays Redmane Castle, the site of the Radon Festival, and the festival's namesake, Star-Scourged Radon. The painting Redmane is found in Selya, town of sorcery. The spirit of the artist is found near the bottom of the cliff where you battle the Star-Scourge. A powerful magic-wielding golem is also found there. The reward for not getting yourself killed getting down the cliff is the Ash of War, Rain of Arrows. This ash can be applied to the great bow found in the Highway Lookout Tower mentioned earlier. The effect of Rain of Arrows is similar to Radon's Rain. Selya, town of sorcery, and a magical construct. This leads us to the next painting, Sorcerer. The Sorcerer painting depicts the moon over a tower called the Heretical Rise. This tower is guarded by magical constructs. The painting itself is found in a locked room in Castle Sol. Sol is Latin for sun. This sun is being eclipsed by the moon. The spirit is located on a bridge near the Stargazer ruins. His gift to you is an oversized sorcerer's great hood. Hood far larger than the head he was meant to cover, a burial shroud of sorts for those who discover at long last the truth they sought. Yes, surely this is the moon that young Renala gazed upon. The Great Hood and the Heretical Rise belong to Esker, priest of blood. This tower differs from the other towers as the glintstones here are not blue, they are red. Red glintstones are said to be formed by blood sacrifices. When you defeat Esker in the Lendel catacombs, he drops the Lord of Blood's exaltation. Render up your offerings of blood to your lord, drench my consort's chamber. Slake his cocoon's thirst, his awakening shall herald the dawn of our dynasty. From the Redmane painting we receive the Ash of War, Rain of Arrows. In Esker's Heretical Rise you find the sorcery, Founding Rain of Stars. The eldest primeval sorcery, said to have been discovered by an ancient astrologer, a sorcery of legendary status. Thought to be the founding glintstone sorcery, the glimpse of the primeval current that the astrologer saw became real, and the stars amber rained down on this land. An ancient astrologer or stargazer, and the founding glintstone sorcery. This leads us to our final destination, Raya Lucaria. The painting Resurrection depicts Raya Lucaria, Renala, Queen of the Full Moon and champion of the Glintstone Knights, was formerly the school's master. Now, a shadow of the Carian Queen plays at a forbidden rite, the grim art of reincarnation. The artist's spirit is found in a graveyard behind Carian Manor. Nearby, an onyx lord is locked away in the royal grave Everjail. The Resurrection painting, like the first painting, is found at the artist's shack, this time in Liurnia. As the final reward and the only time this is done, the spirit gives the tarnished 3 items: a larval tear and the juvenile scholar cap and robe. The larval tear is required for Renala's amber egg to birth people anew. It's needed for a resurrection. Cap worn by young academy scholars, the juveniles birthed anew by the amber egg of Queen Renala, the head of Raya Lucaria Academy. Yet their rebirth is not without imperfections, and thus do they repeat the process, eventually becoming utterly dependent on it. Rebirth is as sleep to them, and with each awakening, memory fades into oblivion. The path of the wandering artist began in a shack in Limgrave, and after a lengthy journey across the lands between, it ends up in a shack in Liurnia, thus linking the last painting to the first. Like the scarab, at the end of his days, the wandering artist returned to his home to die.